Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the silliness has certainly been unleashed. I was watching that go down. At some point, I really gotta, like, commission someone to make, like, a proper custom theme for this place. Because as much as I like using, like, Bayonetta music and Catherine music, it would be nice to also have something to call, you know, a part of this cafe, eventually. Eventually. Maybe not now. But how are all of you? V-Sheep, Doomsby, Loot Cat? Y'all doing great? Didn't know if it was from one of those games. Yeah, let me get the playlist out. I've got one from Catherine. Wait, no. One from Bayonetta, two from Catherine, one from Streets of Rage 2, and another one from Dead Rising 2. I've been basically collecting anything, like, vaguely jazzy from games and playing those. I need to add more to it. And you're all doing good? That's good. For me, I've been doing well myself. I woke up, I had pizza for breakfast. You know, the appropriate breakfast. Like one bone-hurting juice. I still need to get my staff out here at some point. I've heard it hurts your bones, but I can take it. I'm surprised you can still read it. Because I tried to make the menu a little larger, but like it made the text very small. Are you ever gonna add a sandwich to the menu? I mean, we've got the flesh of angels. And terror peaches. Who needs sandwiches when you got those? Well, can you put it in a sandwich? Maybe, but we don't got bread. A deboned sandwich. I like staring at this sort of background scenery stuff. Fair enough. I might redo this at some point, because there needs to be, like, some rework done at some point. Nothing major, just it needs a little bit of work, is all. No bread in hell. Hey, who said this was hell? This is limbo. There has to be at least some bread, right? Nope, nope. Limbo has no bread. Perhaps some deviled eggs available? Maybe. I'd have to check. You can't fool us? I mean, do I look like a demon to you? Limbo is just diet hell? Okay, you got me there. But it's still a different place. I do look like a demon to you? Is that so? I should probably also get the game started before Twitch gets mad. They don't like it if you stay off of the category thing. The only thing that matters right now, if it has bread, diet hell 50% less hot. Thankfully, Limbo is just cold. Hell is hot, limbo is cold. It does get hot occasionally, but cold is good. Oh god. I spent a lot of time in this, I didn't even realize. Apparently I've spent like 26 hours or so in this game now. I could go for a cold hell. Cold is nice. I much prefer cold over hot any day, but that's kind of a ghost thing. We ghosts prefer the cold. Why do you think every time we're anywhere, the freezing temperatures start? Maybe with a shot of espresso and cream. I'd prefer a mocha myself. I just like chocolate. Seeing your art and such made me want to draw my own Sona's ghosty or zombie character or something. I don't think there's enough undead Sonas. There's a lot of, like, very lively candy ones I've seen lately. But undead are woefully, like, underappreciated, I think. Though that could just be the ghost in me talking. The serval in me just wants some chicken. Some fried chicken.
Everyone, let's go! Sidekicks, try hard. Make it a swift victory. Everybody, try one. I'm really feeling it. Don't take care of that, Alright, I'm feeling it.
Kind of surprised that that one over there didn't get aggroed. How is that thing not getting aggroed? We're like wailing on his friend over here. Got my digital art stuff working in just for that. Oh, that's nice. Alright, now we can start activating. It really doesn't care. Side swing and that would kill me. His friend probably took his specifically labeled lunch again. I don't know if the Mechon eat. Well, okay, they do quote-unquote eat, but it's kind of weird. Like, what happens is they, like, eat people, and then apparently they become Mechon? Actually, I don't even need to use shield at this point. What? What, that they eat people? That was explained in the very beginning, more or less. Basically, they come in to, like, Hom's colonies, and they proceed to eat everyone there. And somehow, some way, it appears that the people who are eaten by Mechon turn into Mechon. Kind of like a zombie situation, but not really. Delicious and nutritious. Yeah, I noticed that it's a very common thing for humans to be eaten in media. So, either humans themselves seem to think they're delicious, or they might actually be delicious, and they're trying desperately to keep the instinctual fears active. Only one way to find out. Like a zombie, but you become a rad battle bot. Good, wrong one. Yeah, Mumkar's been waiting this whole time. Mass-produced face. Where did he go? Almost forgot he was here. Thought you had already beat him. No, he beat me. There we are. This has not been going well. We need to focus our efforts on the side baddies first, because they're the ones who are giving us the most trouble. Alright. Try to break it, and then topple it so we can damage it en masse. And Ricky needs to start healing. Daze it so it stays down. And then, let's see, it's already afflicted with bleed, so let's use Soaring Tempest to also deal damage to Mumkar if he's close enough. Which I don't think he is. Daze it to keep it down. And enchant everyone so they are capable of continuing damage against these. Now let's wail on this thing. Alright. See ya, Doomsby. Yeah, I'm gonna try and punch Mumkar's teeth in. He's a bit strong. There are a lot of big numbers going on. Do I have something that can prevent damage? Doesn't have an aura, so he can't do that. He's already charging another attack? Ouch. Oh, I just died. Not a good time for days. Come on, come on. There we are. We got the enchant back on, so they should be able to... I don't know if shield will help. Keep Ricky up, because Ricky is kind of the thing that keeps us alive here. He has a huge focus on Dunban. That's gonna hit all of us. It's not gonna prevent him from death, but it will certainly prevent significant damage. Alright, let's knock him straight down. Burninate him. Now wail on him. There we are. Mumkar has been defeated.
Too much. The Monado is too much.
I am feeling it. And welcome, Moose Master.
You wanted it, so now you can have it, Bunker!
I'm better than all of you. You're the one who's finished.
Die! Stop! Get out of my way, Shulk!
Oh, hey, look, it's a big follows thing.
He's not a Mechon! Have you forgotten everything he's done?
Let's
Where is your
ban
killer
that.
instinct? Now is the time! I
Yeah, they
hate
don't
him
have
to
weird
death
symbols anymore.
For what he did to Fiora and the Emperor. So of course I want to get my revenge.
Shulk,
But Face Mechon are not like the others. They're people. Like us. Are you really willing to kill another Homs? Yes. Sometimes needs must. Even if it's Fiora. What then? When we set out, I wanted to destroy all Mechon. That was my aim. But now, I know that there are people inside. I have to know why. What's the reason for all of this? Why do Bionis and Mechonis have to keep on fighting? I have to find out why. So, That is your fight. Dumbbell! I will never forgive what he's done. And yet, your words, they ring true. I feel their weight. We have to help Fiora now. We'll worry about the rest later. Right. Did you hear that, Munkar? We haven't got time to be playing around with you.
You always had to have the last word. Just die!
No!
Just
Don't move! Stay
die!
back!
Rippin' pepperoni, Mumcar.
Munkar!
No! No! Not like this!
Munkar. You went too far, you fool.
Turns out it wouldn't matter if you actually killed him or not. So, Gold, who is my favorite Xenoblade Chronicles character, and why is it Ricky? Ricky has really good healing and damage, and a crapload of health. He is the ultimate tank. I think someone should build a sliding scale from the smallest to most reasonably sized JRPG sword to biggest.
He could not save his majesty. That was within the margin of fate.
Because
It was
Ricky is a
not
god.
Shulk's fault.
Either Ricky is a god or
So
could kill a god. I don't care if there's a difference.
Did you find anything out?
It did smell like karma.
I did. It is most fascinating, this spear. The green fluid alters and destroys the structure of the ether, which is the building block of life on Bionis. It appears to have been created from ether energy drawn from the blood of the Bionis.
Could that explain the ether flowing through Sword Valley?
I do not think it is the only reason, but it is too early to draw conclusions.
Is there a countermeasure?
Creating antibodies is a simple matter. We will be ready.
That is good news.
Why did you have to include him? You know how he disgusts me.
We must respect our elders. Dixon has known him far longer than us.
Uh-oh. Something tells me those are the primary antagonists, and the Mechon are just misunderstood heroes. Probably.
At least he's out of the way. Now we just need to get inside.
They're in there. Fiora and the Golden Mechon. Fiora!
Shulk! What's up?
Did you see something?
No.
You did see something.
All right. It was the Silver Mechon. Fiora. She's definitely inside the fortress.
All right. At least we know what to expect.
So, Fiora is inside. I can't let that vision come true. I have to save her.
The world of Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the coolest worlds in JRPG history. I do agree, actually. Like I've said before, I would be totally down if, like, they actually decided to have an MMO in the Xenoblade world. Because, I don't know, that'd just be fun. Everyone is a misunderstood hero if you misunderstand hard enough. That is true. Riki is definitely one of top 10 and RPG characters, with Decker from Lufia 2 and Oliver from Trails in the Sky. Also, you're on the bodies of two colossal beings, basically at the size of bugs, climbing up their legs and shoulders along with weapons. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Well, there's a lot of them. Immediately dead. Alrighty, off to be a detective. Huh. What game would that be? Disco Elysium. I've heard of that game, never actually played it. I'm dead again. Ouch. Okay. I guess we shouldn't fight like 5 Mechon at once. One problem I do have with this game that I don't think gets brought up enough is how difficult it is to tell when a group of, like, site-based aggro is going to link. Because you don't see the tethers between all 4 of these, but if you aggro just one of them, all 4 of them come after you. And I think it would be nicer to know which moments would be like that, so I don't have to worry about suddenly having to deal with that kind of mess. Would 100% play a Nopon in an MMO. Same. I was thinking about how, like, RPGs where you can make your own character builds in a fairly simple manner are cool. Mostly because I like the materia system despite not being good with it. Materia still isn't the perfect custom build system. It isn't, but I feel like it's definitely a very solid one. I think my favorite stuff in, like, RPGs are the ones where you build your character by, like, training those skills. So a great example is Ultima Online, if you've ever played that. Basically, to get good with anything, you have to sort of train that up. Can I realistically be able to make that jump? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I like having a huge list of skills that I can just build as sort of like a character sandbox, more or less. The true Final Fantasy II does that? It does, but Final Fantasy II also does it horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah, people didn't like it in Final Fantasy II because of the way it was handled. For example, how do you get more HP? You get hit. So the optimal way to train your HP is to repeatedly, like, beat yourself up in a weaker battle. So you go to, like, a boss that you... Not a boss, but like a set of enemies that normally don't give you much trouble anymore. And then you let yourself get wailed on by them, and you attack yourself. It gets really dumb really fast. Dunban. Yeah, in most games, you don't train HP, typically, when they have systems like that. Are you like a singular thing by yourself? So you're using Dunban as tank and Ricky as healer? That is the main plan, yeah. And Shulk is sort of like a fill role. Because he can do like some decent healing, but he's primarily DPS in my party. Charla does make for a better healer, but I also kind of need to be able to just do as much damage as possible. Could never get the Dunban evasion tank to work for me. Had some RPG ideas in your head with a tiny bit similar to Materia. You know, I have for the longest time wanted to make an RPG of my own. I should at some point just buckle down, because I've got like every RPG maker known to man at this point. Okay, maybe not all of them, but I've got a significant amount of them. Hey Dunban, can you topple it? Hey Dunban. Dunban, please. I've set it up for you multiple times, Dunban. Oh. I missed. That wasn't too bad. You can equip magic, passives, etc., etc. But you could specifically equip something to your weapon, and normal hits affect the... Hit has those effects. That could be good. Oh, hello! This became a bit of a problem. And yes, this is my first playthrough of this game. I have not played the second one, nor have I played X. Basically, I heard that this was a good game, so I decided it was time to give it a shot. wasn't so bad for having what seemed to be awful odds. Oh, I just realized it's HP. Looks much better on Switch than it did on the Wii. I will agree with that, particularly with the character models, which were really uncanny. Though I did kind of like it. The art style for the original reminded me a lot of, what's that game? Vagrant Story? Actually, let's focus for now. And then... I'm guessing you played it on the Wii then, Moose Master? Oh, Vagrant Story. Got some bad memories or something? Oh, they've got auras. I'm gonna have to remember that. Yeah, I played this back when it first came out on the Wii. Missed X, but did play 2. Maybe I should have. Vagrant Story was an odd game. I've still yet to play it, but I've seen a lot of how it looks. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, I could have done shield. Whoops. Alright, Dunban, you're back. I still need to play more RPGs. I've got a lot, actually, on a list of games that I want to cover. Hey Dunban, can you take my aggro for me? Or Ricky? Ooh. That was good damage.
Not bad at all.
Like the story and characters of 1 more than 2, but 2 had some really good gameplay outside of the weird gacha style hero collection for some reason. Would strongly recommend playing 2 if I get the chance. I'll look into it for sure. There is a way to quick reload chat if it disconnects me, because if it's just wait and get lucky that it fixes itself, then I have some strong words for John on Twitch. Strong words like swole, buff, and weights. I'm pretty sure if you go into chat settings, there should be a thing to refresh it. If I remember correctly. Or no. No, there isn't. What was I thinking of then? Huh. Well then, I do not remember. Looks like I need to change Ricky's skill branch. Let's see. Movement speed, AP. That could be useful. Guess innocence is where we want. There we are. Oh, that's actually a really good one. Can I have that? Okay, I don't have enough affinity coins. Or affinity? Okay, affinity coins are different between people. Got it. I don't think I need agility as much. Need 30 to do that. Dunban has a new thing. Removes all aggro. One of the things I've seen from Xeno 2 is that some of the gacha blades have one skill tree slot for a unique field skill, which is worthless outside their own side quest. Ricky is angry. Probably get rid of roly-poly, actually. Like, roly-poly has been great, but we need to expand a little more, eh? And then I need to actually get the extended stuff for that, actually, before I move too much farther, I think. When's the next... Next... Oop, let's not run off a cliff here. I hope there's like a new point that I can go in. There's a lot of issues with the blade collection system. I suppose I'll figure that stuff out when I get there.
Make it a swift victory. We can definitely do this. You're not invincible. Milano, enchant. Worldly slash. Pesky thing. Dance with me.
Let's knock him down again. Then burn everyone in the nearby vicinity. Keep this thing down. I can certainly believe that in the world of gacha systems, it isn't the worst of the worst, but a skeleton with makeup is no less spooky. Fair enough. Probably didn't even need to use that shield. Definitely didn't need to use it. On the topic of gacha systems, though, I don't think I know of anyone that's particularly good. I don't know, I just really can't get into the idea of having a random chance to get a thing. Like, I tried to get into, Genshin Impact at one point. And while the game itself is actually fairly fun, I repeatedly found myself just wishing that instead of going for gacha mechanics, they just, I don't know, made it a $60 game and had us unlock everything to, you know, just play the game. I'd rather, you know, get characters like, what was his name, Diluc, by just getting to a certain point in the story, or, I don't know, maybe you have to do like a side quest to unlock him. Gacha only goes from less bad to dear god why. It's gambling with anime characters and wacky swords. Yeah, basically. Never been too keen on the system myself, nor loot boxes for that matter. So you are aware of what we're talking about, Gold, in Chronicles 2. So are you aware of what we're talking about? In Chronicles 2, the characters have things called blades, which are effectively people who can change into / create and empower weapons for you. So instead of you getting a new weapon, you unlock more blades using cubes you find. When using a cube, it will give you a generic blade, random element, weapon type, not an actual character. Or has a small chance of giving you a unique blade, specific character with personality. You can find stronger boxes in the game, and the stronger the box, the higher the chance of it will give you a unique blade.
I can feel the power.
Oh good, it's a landmark right here. Oops. I keep doing that. I need to talk to some merchants. Because right now, most of our skills are quite not great. And that sounds interesting, but also there's still gacha mechanics. Kind of. Sort of. Oh, right. It's ZR for that. Yeah. Okay, I keep hitting start to open up the menu because I'm so used to, like, old school everything. As concept and lore-wise, it's really neat and interesting, but the gacha aspect of it ruins it so much. Yeah, I can understand that entirely. I should now be healing for more, thankfully. Official Colony 9 t-shirt only on insert website. I survived Colony 9 and all I got was this lousy shirt. Also, the blades are tied to the characters that opens them, so it's really frustrating when you get a good unique tank blade on your healer character. That sounds more like it was a mistake, if you ask me. Also, wow, that backslash damage. I really should have been here a lot earlier. Is there any other merchants here? Okay. And there I go doing it again. Let's see. The next... I think there was some merchants in... Yeah, Bionis' leg has some merchants. I think that the Xenoblade games, if they all play like this, feel very much like they were designed as sort of like a console MMO first, and then somewhere down the line they were like, you know what? We don't have the infrastructure to make an MMO, so let's not do that. Well, you can switch the blade to another character using a rare and presumably limited item. Ugh. That's still terrible. I apparently did not explore a whole lot of Colony 6 at all. Must have only been here when I needed to be and left immediately after. Where was it on the area map? Merchant... Keep going down here, huh? Be a little bit positive, the unique blades have some pretty good characters in the ranks. The music takes you back. I honestly love that with games. Like, for example, whenever I play, like, on World of Warcraft Classic, when I find myself having the itch, or whenever I hear, like, MapleStory music, it just takes me way back. Because MapleStory was, like, the first MMO I ever played in my life, and... it's also one of the more interesting parts of my life, because I've got a lot of memories with it. So those are mostly Charlotte and stuff. You can say Xenoblade games have really good soundtracks. They do. I don't think there's been a single soundtrack in this game where I can think, oh yeah, this is terrible. It's all been really solid. Wolfwick Prime is a prime example. He's one of the blades you're basically certain to get in the game from what I've seen. He's this giant, scary monster dude, but he's actually super sweet and wants to help people despite everyone running and being scared and all that. Oh. So continues the heart-to-hearts you can't see yet. I imagine most of them you have to do, like, quests for or something. But yeah, like, when it comes to MapleStory, what was the name of the place? Alinea? Basically, it's this large, like, dense forest area that you can go into to become a mage. And I've got, like, most of the Alinea soundtrack just completely burned into my memory, because the thing about Alinea is that if you wanted to be a magician, you only had to be level 8 to advance to a magician. Every other class you had to be level 10 for. And I went as a magician when I was little, and eventually became a a cleric, because I didn't know what a cleric was at the time, and that ended up causing me to become, well, a healer for the rest of my MMO days. Oh no, what will I do? Oh, I missed that. We'll focus on reasonably wholesome. I find that's actually quite a common thing with a lot of these sorts of JRPGs. There's always like a big scary man that's actually really wholesome. Oh no, level 25 unique monster, the horror. Yep, pretty much. Just collecting some stuff real quick and hopefully filling out a little more of this map. Because it was basically empty, save for like a couple locations in it. Could be worse. It could be the level 80 giant monkey. Oh, you mean the ones that are in, like, the starter realms? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a game do that before, by the way. Where, like, you just have a sudden random level 80. I mean, trying to fill in everything and get everything in this game is an endeavor. I imagine so, but I wanted to at least fill it out more so it wasn't, like, completely blank. Oh, yeah. And this area, I know I'm, like, super over-leveled for it now, but man, this area was, like, just gorgeous to go through. Still is. It's just, like, wow. This is what art direction does. Have you gotten a full collection for a map yet? I don't think I have. I wonder if this area was just as impressive on the Wii as it is here. Because, as someone who has never played this game on the Wii or Switch up until recently, I've only experienced this. This is my first time with this area. And it is a really gorgeous location. Gale Slash, could use that. Also that. Also that. I don't have enough money to get all these things for Dunban. I mean, this was a really good looking game on the Wii when it came out as it was. I believe it. I can always collect more of these. They kind of respawn. There's something strangely nice and relaxing about browsing menus in older JRPGs. Yes and no, because some older JRPGs are complete nightmare fuel to scroll through. It really depends on which ones you're looking at. Holy plate. I think I got that just by beating up Mechon. I can get plenty of those. I need money. I think I got one of this for him. I don't know if I use those abilities on Dunban. And trust me, P, we're all a little weird in some way. Oh, yeah. With modern menu design stuff, I'm sure one could be made that keeps the classic style as little as possible of the classic nonsense. Yeah, probably. To be honest, the thing about, like, old RPGs is they don't all have bad, they don't all have bad menus, but a lot of them did. So, Steel Strike is what we need here. As per usual, a bit of a dreamer. I think we all are to some extent. Oh wow, not enough AP. Alright, now we need to get some stuff for our Nippon champion here. Which would require us to go to this forest. Most recent experience is, of course, Final Fantasy VII, which is pretty alright. Final Fantasy VII, most of the Final Fantasy games have pretty decent menus. I don't think many of them are too bad. I think... Actually, I don't think any of them really have terrible menus. Maybe except for Final Fantasy XI. The materia menu could have used a bit more in terms of, like, features to make sure your good stuff is available, but it's functional. Yeah. I still think that in terms of Final Fantasy games, the only one that I feel had, like, really lacking menus was Final Fantasy XI. And I didn't play that a whole lot. I really should play more of it at some point. One of my inevitable goals is to probably do, like, a stream where I just, like, go super hard into Final Fantasy XI. Because it's a game that has always interested me. I've just never, ever had the time to, keep up with it. Freezing 8. In terms of an MMO, a lacking menu can really sour the experience from what I've heard. Oh, yes. A bad, like, any of those games, if they have, like, really bad, menus, it can completely sour the experience of trying to, like, grind up or change stuff. One thing that I really liked about this game is I generally hate giant maps for the sake of giant maps. One of the things I despised about Mass Effect Andromeda and the Dragon Age games to an extent, the giant maps in this game didn't bother me, though, because they made them feel like actual environments. Funny thing, actually. The entire reason why a lot of the maps seem to feel not terrible in this seems to be because this game really has an MMO-centric design philosophy with how it places its monsters. Because if you were to change this game, like just completely repurpose it into an MMO for some reason or another, it would not look out of place. Yeah. I think that should be good for us. I don't know, give it a nice little save here. I think it also helps that this game doesn't do the thing that, like, Dragon Age and Mass Effect Andromeda do, where, like, the areas are so just not densely packed at all. Because I think most people, when they play those games, a common complaint is that the map just doesn't have enough going on. Whereas this one, there's always something in the maps.
Here's our way in.
There's no turning back.
We can't let them find us. Let's move.
Right.
It also helps that a lot of the, like, random monsters on all of the maps in this game, not all of them are immediately hostile. And the aggro in this game is a lot more manageable than in something like Dragon Age. So you never have to worry about suddenly, hey, look at that monster that you just ran into. It's certainly gonna come and beat you up. It's like the one in, like, I don't know, the nearest 500 miles. Because those games feel, like, barren because there's not enough anything in any of the worlds. And most people, you know, they chalk it up to, oh, it's just, you know, open world games being open world games. No, it's not that. It's really just a case of, like, we can handle having a whole bunch of monsters in a field. We've had it happen many times in MMOs. The big problem is that a lot of open world games sacrifice graphics
Fiora's in here somewhere.
Let's get looking.
Instead of, you know,
Eyes peeled.
letting their world
I'm
be
ready for anything. I'll trash any mech on that tries to
fulfilling.
mess with us.
I like how it gives me a story quest, like I have to accept it.
We can't lose. You dare challenge here, Make it a swift victory.
Oh. Here we go. I recognize this soundtrack. That's really good. Mechanical Combat is the name of that track. That was one of the 2 music tracks in this entire game that I was familiar with. Probably would be a good idea to eliminate everything in this area for experience points. Not exactly perfect level for this.
Here we go! Stream edge! Come on! We're counting on you! Leave it to me! Ricky! Here, Ricky, go! We are at one with the power! Done that! Leave this to me! Done! Ricky! Split edge! This is the Monada's power! Nothing's gonna stop me! Ricky, be careful! Okie dokie, Shulk.
Ricky, you can heal yourself.
All together now! Good call, Stop.
I'm healing much more now.
We got through that pretty good, but we mustn't be careless.
Yeah, I think we've got a good kit now. Just needed to level up some of our abilities a bit. So is this your main party, or do I switch it up? This has been my main party for a while. I was switching it up a lot in the very beginning, because I didn't know what I wanted out of the party. But when I discovered the power of Ricky and the power of Dunban, it kind of just stuck. Oh. Ah.
Definitely do this. This is the Monada's power.
This is probably not a fight to take.
Run for it.
It's a lot of mech on.
Stay strong. Everyone, make a run for it.
Alright. That fight might be a little hard for us right now. I was hoping it was just a thing where, like, I could hit it and only one would come out, but they were all linked together. So I have to get in there at some point. Is the main deal.
Just what I needed.
Oh, that just deletes health.
Here we go. We're counting on you. Leave it to Ricky. Don't mess up.
There you go, we basically eliminated all of their health.
Leave this to me. This will be the world of strike. Good job, everyone. I can see this isn't pushing you at all. Not bad. Not bad.
I imagine I'm also supposed to be a lot higher level dealing with most of this stuff. Because it seems I am just a little bit weak. It's either that or I'm supposed to do something. No, it looks like I am actually supposed to kill that monster. So, if I... would that just give me only those ones? By chance? Oh, perfect. They're turning around. Cheese! I'm not afraid of cheese. Alright, so that's one eliminated. Let's drag another one of yous. Or just the two of yous. Oh, wait, wait. Get back here. Alright. 3 of them, I think we can deal with. This is more than definitely one of them wandered off mid-fight. Yeah, I noticed. But I am perfectly fine with this cheese. Alright. Let's get one more health bar out of here, right? Oh, they all left. Okay, so they kind of start vanishing around here. I'll try to keep that in mind. Food is good. Now we start fighting. Deleted. I gotta love cheesing that kind of stuff out. Because this was filled with Mechon. Emphasis on was. Ooh, couldn't heal myself in time. Yeah, if I only have like a couple of them to deal with, they're not much of a threat. It's like when you're dealing with all of them at once that it's a problem. Oh, it died before I could even do the backstab. Suddenly thinking of like video game mechanics that are really cool and you want to see more of, but it kind of like makes the identity of the game or whatever. So wanting it elsewhere makes it kind of weird. Yeah, I understand. Like the rolling counters in Earthbound. Yeah, that's a good system. I don't see it working in anything other than other goofy RPGs. Oh, this music's so good. Jeez, I've got a lot of stuff I can do here. Yeah, this is like really good battle music here. Oh, hello Gabe. Thanks for the raid. How y'all doing? Finish it off. Bam! Mechanical rhythm is fitting for the Mechon since it's almost pure metal. Yeah. There is an RPG called Shadow Heart's Covenant, which I would highly recommend for you, Gold. That had a really neat combat system. When you attacked, it was almost like a mini beat game where a needle spun around on a ring and you had to hit the needle on the right spot to execute your attacks. I could look into that at some point. And how you doing, Gabe? If you timed it really well and got a specific part of the ring, you would crit, and as you progress through the game, you'd add more attacks to the ring and make the hit points wider. Just chilling. That's good. That does sound actually pretty interesting. Making fan art for friends. That's good. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but when I was a little kid, my favorite thing when I was on an elevator would be to like go to those, you know, like the bars on the sides. I'd go to that and I would, you know, lift myself up so it felt like I was flying or something.
Where are we?
Looks like the control room for an ether blast furnace. There, look at that.
So this is what supplies the Mechon with ether energy.
Shulk, what's that? Oh, looks like fun. Ricky, want to ride?
That was me when I was young.
We didn't come here to mess about, furball. Time to bounce on.
Hold on. If we can stop that piston, we might be able to shut down the blast furnace.
Nice
The
idea.
joys of being small.
Cut off
Yeah.
the Mekon's ether supply.
Ricky say we try!
Yeah, but how are we supposed to stop something that massive?
If we can stop the turbines driving the piston, it should work. And the turbines should be nearby.
Right. Let's search for them.
I've always liked rhythm games, but never been good at them. I've not played enough rhythm games.
Isn't going well. I'm feeling it.
They are hard. Ouch.
We can rest later. Right. It's not over.
I always thought it was weirdly neat to make all the VAs in this game with British dialects. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, actually. Turned around. That isn't so good. Emulated Rhythm Heaven with a mouse, so it's expected to work, that it worked like Garbo. Maybe. And also, arrow rhythm games just maybe aren't specifically made for the arrow keys. Or at least I'm not the type of god that can play them one-handed. I don't think they're bad for arrow keys. The trouble is you also have to be ready for that. There we go, we're doing a lot better this time.
Good job, everyone.
I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever been really good at any of the rhythm games at all. Like, there's that Friday Night Funkin' that a lot of people were really big about for a while. I think they still kind of are. I gave it a shot, like, you know, just to see what's up. And I just could not do anything. Okay, you're linked to something. What are you linked to?
Let's focus our efforts. Roger. Electric the power of the Monado.
Of course, it's a unique monster just stationed here. Yep, it's a unique monster just hanging out here. That took too long.
Ricky. Yeah, nice going. We're counting on you.
Topple it over again. back attack. That wasn't a whole lot of damage. What? Oh, come on. I suppose I get that for dragging it out. I got something out of it, funnily enough. I mean, if I was running a Fortified Evil Fortress in a Xenoblade game, I'd certainly put the overleveled unique enemies in the front lines. The heroes come in for the big quest expecting something their level or lower, and then blasted by a level 120 dragon or whatever. I mean, yeah, fair. That's a better amount of damage. To be honest, that's a pretty overdone joke regarding video game villains. Who doesn't just attack Sonic with Big Death Robot as soon as possible, and then he did in Sonic Mania. Oh yeah, that did kind of happen in Sonic Mania, didn't it? Also that missed. I think that, yeah, good, that hit both of us. Oh, there we are. You know, watching this game, if you never played it or saw the tutorials in combat, I can only imagine how confusing the combat is. It doesn't seem that confusing to me. The only part that really gets me is the way that the timing is handled. Because certain things have a lot of, like, end lag, which is perfectly fine. It's just some of the end lag for certain moves is just, it feels a little too long. Like the one that I do to Daze enemies, for example, it feels like it goes on forever. constantly think Shulk's voice is higher pitched than it actually is. Like I always misremember. Kind of got used to the Xeno 2 protagonist. You know, I could just walk by this thing. Or I could beat the tar out of it.
Make it a swift victory.
Ricky, not like this.
Okay, guys. Now we're putting together. Focus on slow motion. Electric jump.
Ricky, get your sword.
We can definitely do this. Everyone, feel the flow. We win.
There we go. Dunban got a level up out of it. It was worth it.
Isn't pushing you at all.
There's a few strong ones down there. Beat the possibly very literal tar out of every mechon in the dungeon, yes. Oh, for sure. Well, the robot blood substitute tends to be oil, but you get it? Yeah.
Nice one! We did it!
This should prevent them from mobilizing any large mechon squads for now. Hopefully, we've improved the Allied forces' chances.
Hold steady, my brother.
Friends, here, here!
It looks like the door's been unlocked.
Nice. Let's get down to the blast furnace.
If we're lucky, Fiora might be down there.
Not that it makes more sense. I've heard of stranger things when it comes to, like, characters having blood substitutes. Because, I mean, particularly during the 90s, there was a very huge thing to just put as little blood as possible, so you had to find, like, substitutes. It couldn't be red blood. Whatever it was, it couldn't be that. So, oftentimes, you would make the blood green, or if you were really stupid, like the developers for Castlevania, I think it was Rondo of Blood, you could make the blood white. And oh, did it look wrong? Classic, very dumb choice. Oh, yes. And the thing about Resident Evil games is whenever you die, or at least after a certain point whenever you die, your character basically just explodes into blood. Like, your character kind of, like, slow-mo flies into the air and basically just melts into blood. That is the Castlevania way.
You dare challenge Hirobon?
Yeah, all together now. Good call. We can definitely do this. Ronaldo, land us your power. This will leave a mark. Alright, time for a chain attack. Here we go.
Any fluid of this sort that's white is bound to make someone in the audience uncomfortable and make them laugh like children. Oh, for sure. it looked like he was exploding into milk. It was very hard to take seriously. Done, Dan. I need you to take my aggro real quick. Or you can just kill it. That works too. Splatoon also had that issue with the rarely used white ink. Wasn't white ink just a developer thing? It wasn't like supposed to actually be used at all? Like, essentially it was just what was supposed to be colored in post. More or less. I believe it actually appeared in a few Splatfests. Suppose I wouldn't know, because I never actually played Splatoon. Wasn't sure if that would defeat it or not. Glad that it did, though. I moved too fast. There's a big boy up there. What's his name? Offensive Scout Unit. Not very creatively titled. Oh. Come on over here, will ya? Didn't expect you to be able to see me through that. We got a few extras. There we go. Looks a tiny bit weird that the Mechon move in a very natural way like animals, which can be raised at any robot in any particular piece of media. But I guess it comes down to style and intention with their design. Well, a lot of the times in these situations, the robots in question are also supposed to be like... Oh dear, that's quite high level. It's like I gotta do some grinding again. But it's usually like a case of like, these robots are supposed to be futuristic, so obviously they're not going to have a lot of the same restrictions our modern robotics do. So if I...
I've been getting careless.
No panic.
Dunban, what are you doing?
Much pressure here.
No panic.
Okay. Dunban just decided to take an ether bath. I don't know why, but he felt the need to. Okay. Everyone's returned to full health. Oh good, it's actually just one at a time. They're not linked. Yeah, that's the one thing I find weird. Like, the title of the new Metroid game is Metroid Dread, but it doesn't feel dreadful. Purge. Keep you dazed, and then refresh your topple. And then we'll also incinerate you. And I can miss that entirely. What? It just immediately shot up. Topple it again. Or just kill it. That works too. It does seem to use horror vibes, especially the robots. Maybe it'll be a bigger significance. Possibly. Can you guys stop trying to take an ether bath?
Ricky getting hungry.
Get a hold of yourself.
Ricky tummy rumbling.
Get a hold of yourself.
My teammates might not be the smartest. Alright, Ricky, teleport. There you are. This time don't jump off into the literal death pit. Ricky, you're better than this. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I'm toppled. This is bad.
Thank you. One in the way. Against the odds. Ricky, a sad face doesn't suit you. Throw some darts.
No give up. Everybody, hero time.
Electric gunbuster. Dance with me.
Hero-hon and Hero-hon invincible.
Better than everyone else in the party, so stop jumping in the magic death pool. Yeah, pretty much.
Be careful.
Okie dokie, sir.
It's over. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Alright. I'm gonna have to be creative with this one, I think. you think the liquid ether tastes like Mountain Dew? I... no idea. I imagine it's very frustrating to the other party members that whenever they attack the Mechon, their stuff bounces off until I am charged enough to allow them to hit it. Green. It looks like they'll dissolve all organic matter on contact. I mean, that's essentially what it does, but it also dissolves inorganic matter, apparently. Yeah, Ricky, he only just gets to 1 HP, that's all. Oh, I didn't even need to do that.
Not bad. We are at one with the battlefield.
Ricky is powerful enough for the nuclear Vada Baja Blast. Probably. I know I'm like saving a lot here, but given the situation that we're in, we kind of need it. This is a unique monster that's 5 levels higher than all of us. Ouch. Gotta topple him. Okay, if we can break, or we can just not, we're gonna miss a lot of shots against him, because he's way higher level than us. Oh, there we go. He's broke. Now he's toppled. Perfect. Shaker Edge. Let's get some speed. Behold the power of Ricky. Alright. Let's see if we can do another break and topple. And then daze it so it lasts longer. Gale Slash so the NPC can do more. Behold the power of the Monado and this gun I found. Oop, I missed that entirely because I didn't expect it. Another chain attack? We're just bullying him now! He gets up and we just knock him straight back down. So much for that level 5 difference. I mean, as long as you can keep toppling your enemy, the level difference doesn't make that much of a big deal, I find. But man... that was good. That gave us a decent amount of experience points. And it could have gone so much worse, too. The Mechon got torn to shreds. Yeah, kinda. He was there, and then we just repeatedly toppled him until he stopped moving. And boy, did he ever stop moving. He's no longer existent in this mortal coil. Dunban levels up by just going to a place. Against the power of God in anime. Not much, apparently.
Shulk, is that?
Spear ones! Loads and loads of spear mechon!
Looks like they caught on.
It's Fiora.
This isn't good. Fiora! Alright, I'm feeling it.
Oh, and they're like super high level compared to me too. Oh, I'm bound. That's awful. There's a high chance that I'll need to do some grinding before this fight. Oh, now I'm down. Yeah. Looks like we can't quite do this fight just yet. We need more levels. Been stalling mid-tournament for half an hour and I haven't been called out yet. What kind of tournament are you doing? Oh, did everyone here respawn? Oh yeah, it could have gone much better. I think I need to grind till about level... I would say... like 54 or so. That should be a good level. I did the wrong one. Whoops. There we are. Smash Bros. Ultimate. I still need to play more Smash Bros. At some point. Oh, I was not paying attention. There we are.
But we mustn't be careless.
Pretty much my only real complaint about Smash Bros. Ultimate is that the netcode could use at least a little bit of work. It's not the worst, like everyone makes it out to be. But it is pretty jank. 1,300 hours. Yeah, I mean, when you spend that much time in anything, it's tempting to, you know, say a game's good. I mean, I've spent, like, let's see, I think 23 days of in-game time in Final Fantasy XIV. I feel like it would have been cool for this definitive edition to have unique monster graves from Xeno 2. I think that would be kind of cool. I can see why they didn't add it, because I think for the most part they were just focused on making sure the game was more accessible. Because from what I understand, the original version of this game wasn't the most approachable. Basically, in Xeno 2, a unique monster leaves behind a grave that shows its name and your best time to defeat them, and it lets you refight them. Oh. That sounds like it would be really nice. Oh. I didn't even have to purge, it was already dead. So yeah, we're gonna have to kill a few Mechon around in this area before we're strong enough to deal with that next major encounter. Okay. There we are. And with time attacks and the ancient concept of high scores, it just feels good to see you've played the game enough for your number to be a better number. Yeah, I can understand that entirely. I too used to chase high scores. Albeit not in anything super interesting. I used to really be into Metal Slug, if anyone remembers those games. My favorite was probably Metal Slug 3. I used to play that a lot. We had like the Metal Slug anthology on the Wii.
Stay strong. Hang in there. Don't give up.
Ricky really likes doing like ether baths. You had that one too? Yeah, I think most people had it on the PlayStation 2. But I think the Wii version was the superior one. Just because, like, flailing the Wiimote meant that you were basically doing crap loads of, yeah, you know, grenades. Because that's how you threw grenades. You shook the Wii remote.
embarrassing Ricky.
Ricky is being embarrassed. I was randomly remembering a little chat I had with my parents about Spider-Man villains. And I mentioned that they tend to be the natural predators of spiders. And then I realized, no. Yes. My favorite natural predator of spiders, goblins. I don't think rhinos, vultures, and octopi go after spiders or mob bosses. Okay, the mob bosses might. Because, you know, you don't like spiders in your house, right? So what does the mob boss do? They eliminate the spider. Or photo negative men. Yeah, Spider-Man's got some really strange, like, antagonists. Put the spider in tiny cement shoes. What's over here? Did I come from here? Wait, no, there's two paths, yeah. I might have come from here, actually. That was the last time you scare my family. Capiche? Now you sleep with the fishes. I mean, it's okay to be silly. It makes things more fun. Shulk obliterated more than half of the lad's HP just then. I mean, I did give Shulk some, like, pretty decent stuff. And the Monado Buster does a lot of damage to Mechon specifically. You can't beat me up if I freeze you in place and then burn you. And then stun you. In the wise words of Phil Swift. That's a lot of damage. I think we've killed literally everything in the area. Unless these guys respawned. They did not. To show you the power of my Monado arts, I sawed these Mechon in half. The one thing I find kind of funny, though, is, like, if you go to, like, the early game Mechon, they're, like, level 20. And they're supposed to be the exact same Mechon you're fighting here, more or less. Which is just... I mean, there's a few differences. The ones here are, like, 30 levels higher. Also, another thing that I've noticed about JRPGs in particular, a lot of them, like, end game levels for the main story tends to be, like, around level 60s. Like, 40s to 60s is what you can usually see as the end point for most JRPGs. It'd help if I could see in this really cramped corridor. As we all know, if you're a JRPG enemy and you get a hair dye, it doubles your level. Yeah, that's not even just JRPG, that's RPGs in general. I've seen it happen in Western RPGs. I've especially seen it happen in MMOs. Like, how many times do people fight, like, wild hogs in World of Warcraft? At least a couple times. That's anime in general. It's a few things in general. Oh, these are now actually lower level than me. I should probably also get, like, better armor for Shulk at some point. Goku being blonde, then red, then blue, or whatever. I think currently his max is like... yeah. Blue. And yeah, Ricky does spin until he gets dizzy. Like, you just focus on Ricky right here. Well, first he's gotta dance. He's very much a dancer. And quite nimble for being 40 years old. With also, like, a boatload of children, apparently. He do be groovin'. He's just doing these. 40 years old in a freaking sphere. Yeah. And I mean, like, if his battle animations are to be believed, he's also built like a balloon, because he can just inhale a ton of air. I get the feeling that they really just liked animating him dance. Meanwhile, Shulk just repeatedly sneezes in the background. Second coming of Kirby. Maybe. Oh, I missed that. I love how Ricky is angry is just an actual status effect. I was very sad when Ricky was an assist trophy in Smash and not a playable character. Yeah, should have been an actual character. It's what he deserves. Machine meltdown. I don't know if I heard that right, but it sounded like Ricky said, "Power sounds exciting." Ricky's gonna be the new antagonist. Assist trophies, Mii costumes, and spirits are the unholy trinity of Smash fan disappointment. Oh, you mean like Dante being a Mii costume? Either a character you like isn't any of them, or they are, but you wish they were a normal fighter. Yeah. I mean, I suppose we can't realistically expect every single character that we like to be, you know, in the game. As cool as that would be, and what is going on? Dunban's hair seems like it's like floating, kinda. Let's move on to the zone that we're supposed to go to, because that's where all the good levels are. Because we've officially reached a point where we need to grind, yes. But we also need to kill things that are of decent level for us. And they're all located entirely in this one area. Okay, you can just leave me here. There we are. barely see. More Smash Twitter folks could use understanding that other basic concepts surrounding their expectations and wishes. Oh yeah, like genuinely, it's impossible to have every character in Smash. There's also the fact that just there's a sort of expectation that like everyone can just be in Smash with no licensing troubles whatsoever. I think those people kind of forget that a lot of those companies are very much in it for the money, and as a result, not always easy to get a hold of licenses for certain characters. As a result, characters like Goku, for example, which was apparently a very popular thing. Like, Goku's probably never gonna happen. Licensing is one of the reasons there aren't really any more Breath of Fire games. Why would that be the issue for not having Breath of Fire games exactly? Is it because they're like linked to... Also why Gold has to live in fear whenever he's in Kingdom Hearts due to corporate overlords that are Disney? Yeah, it's also partially why I just try, like, I'm basically going to finish Kingdom Hearts 2 and then do every other Kingdom Hearts thing on my own time. It would just be much easier. Original Breath of Fire games were a collab between Capcom and Square. Oh, so it's like the Super Mario RPG problem all over again. Sometimes it feels like back in, like, around the NES, SNES, and even PlayStation 1 era, companies were a lot more keen on just collaborating, it seems. Because a lot of collaborations, from what I can remember, were like around 90s. And it's why you never see Ryu from Breath of Fire in all various Capcom fighting games. That must be really frustrating for any of the people who worked on those games, though. Because, like, I imagine when you finish developing a game, you've got a pretty sizable attachment to it, obviously. But, like, imagine you can't deal with it ever because of licensing. That would be infuriating.
Leave it to me. Dance with me. Timing is everything.
Didn't even take all of the... Oops.
Everyone do good! I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
It does make me wonder when Kingdom Hearts itself is going to be a licensing nightmare. And they've already run into licensing nightmares with Kingdom Hearts. Primarily with, you know, Tarzan's world, which they couldn't reintroduce to 2 because of licensing.
We need full power, Ricky! Nothing's gonna stop me! Dumbat, listen! Right, I see.
Licensing issues with Tarzan? Yeah, so you know the deep jungle world in Kingdom Hearts? Technically, the rights to Tarzan don't belong entirely to Disney. So, what ended up happening is the other part of, you know, the Tarzan rights was like, hey, let's not have this in the next game, yeah?
Leave it to me! This will leave a mark. Cigarette!
And as a result, it did not appear in future games for quite a while, in fact. Oh. What a time to die, jeez. I died to spike damage. Oh well. Everything else respawned because of that. Well, for now though, I am getting a little hungry. I've gotten a lot hungrier lately while streaming. You're not putting the ape man with his quirky Gorilla girl sidekick in this silly anime game for babies. Probably not that, but it is funny. Trust me, licensing is the weirdest thing. It causes just so many issues overall. But for now, I think I am going to call it because I am kind of hungry. I need to like set up a be right back screen at some point so I can go for longer, you know, get breaks into my streams. I'll try to set that up before Sunday. But on Sunday, at about, I think, realistically, it's probably going to be about 4 p.m. Yeah, like 4 p.m. Central Time, Loot Cat and I should be doing Outward. So, hopefully, we can get that done with, you know, not having to worry too much about, you know, the usual work schedule stuff. Because I don't have the next week's schedule still. So I don't know what next week is going to be like, and I hope it's something that I can work with for streams, but we'll see. Regardless, for today we're going to be rating Naito, who is currently playing Guilty Gear. So if you want to watch someone play a fighting game, they're currently going through that. And thank you V, Moose Master, Osai, and Windex, and Gabe for all stopping by. And I hope you all have a lovely day. Ciao!